gravy. I am feeling like $1,000,000 today. All right. Killing it, my dude, killing it. That's what I like to see. You know it. That sleep data's gotta be off the charts. Let me just take a gander here. What's it say? Today sucks. Wait, what just happened? You were just all, says my sleep was atrocious. There's no way I can feel good today. Dude, do you hear what you just said? That is totally back. Nope, there's no changing the data. This is my destiny. Off to the darkness. Yo, what is up? Welcome back to another week of How to Health. My name is Kevin. I run liftandbalance.com, where we take aim at all things health and do it in an odd, weird, interesting, and highly sarcastic manner. Today, or should I say tonight, we are talking about one of those things that is a staple part of all of our nights. Well, it's really not kind of a choice. Sleep. You know we love sleep in this neck of the woods, this neck of the YouTube woods. And we'll be focusing today's conversation on how to tell if you actually have had a good night's rest. And here's how we're gonna do it. We're going to break down the subjective, meaning personal feel, and the objective, meaning hard data, things to look for to gauge whether you are optimizing this thing that we spend 1/3 of our lives doing. And as always, we will end with a few tips and strategies to help get you there. But first, a brief level set. There are a number of different sleep trackers out there today. And throughout this little powwow, I will be referencing the data that I get from the Oura Ring, which I believe is one of the leaders in the market. But please know, trackers such as the Fitbit, the Apple, Garmin, Polar watches, the Whoop bracelet, and all others can all provide some valuable data to baseline yourself and start improving your Z's. So if you got something, use it. And let's talk about this baseline concept for a moment because it's important. Your baseline is your starting point, your sleep data before any optimization or interventions. This is key to track progress and relative change from your norms. And here's the thing, everyone's baseline and optimal levels are unique across different metrics. So this, tracking your sleep, is truly a you versus you against yourself situation. And I find that the real power from these wearables actually is when you begin to align your objective data to your subjective feel, using it as a tool to open your eyes to the fact that small habit adjustments can have a profound impact on your night-to-night sleep. And in my own opinion, the truly awesome moment is when you can consistently predict the objective data from the night before based off subjective feel alone. And that, my friends, means you're dialed in. Or as Charlie Sheen would say, #winning. I have personally been tracking my sleep for 2 years with the Oura Ring. If you want to see a few in-depth breakdowns across this journey, you can check out the How to Sleep playlist, where we cover a number of cool topics, research, and some self-experimentation. Cool? Cool. Now let's get to it. First subjective, then objective. What are some subjective, meaning personal feeling derived, things that you can look for to gauge whether you've had a good night's sleep? We'll start off with probably the most important one. First, you feel good. You wake up feeling refreshed, restored, and energized. Not like you got hit by a bus. Whoa. In most cases, this means you wake up naturally, without an alarm clock, sometime between the hours of 5 a.m. and 10 a.m., depending on your specific chronotype. And you may be asking, how do you wake up naturally? Great question. First, by giving yourself a full 8-hour sleep opportunity each and every night. Not 8 hours of in-bed time with your phone and tablet and laptop, but 8 hours of just you and sleep. And finally, when you have this honed in, you will be getting sleepy at the same time each and every night. And when it's time to go to bed, you can typically doze off within 20 minutes. And that's what we got on the subjective front. Now, it's time for the fun part. Data, 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 data. No, no, I improvised. No, you're gonna cut that. I thought it was good. Objective data. Here are the metrics that matter. First, heart rate variability. Now, this is the disparity between your heartbeats, otherwise known as the time in milliseconds between each beat. This is my heartbeat. Hand motion. You gotta go with what you got. Maybe I'll throw like a heartbeat up here. This is used as an assay for recovery. In particular, the nervous system state that you are in. The higher your heart rate variability is from baseline, the more relaxed you were the night before, and the better physiological state you were in for recovery. This means you were in a rest and digest parasympathetic nervous system state. Now, when your heart rate variability is low, it's the exact opposite. You're in fight or flight sympathetic nervous system state. So you want heart rate variability to be high. And please note, this is a highly individualized number for each person. So the best way to measure this is relative change off of your baseline. Now, things that drastically impact heart rate variability are stimulants like caffeine, depressants like alcohol. I've personally found that big late night meals as well as late night exercise impact this number as well. Next, average resting heart rate. This is exactly what it sounds like, your average heart rate at rest. The average adult typically falls anywhere between 60 and 80 beats per minute, but this can drop as low as the 40s depending on fitness level. This is another one that you want to compare against your baseline of previous nights. An above average resting heart rate typically means there is some sort of internal stressor going on. On the topic of heart rate, we move to low resting heart rate. This is an interesting one. Here's why. As we go through our sleep cycles, our heart rate fluctuates. And the point in the night where we achieve the lowest resting heart rate for that particular night actually can be a good indicator of rest and recovery. Why? Because it measures how fast we got into that relaxed and restorative state of deep sleep. So we want our lowest resting heart rate to hit in the beginning part of the night rather than the later part of the night. Moving on, body temperature. Core body temperature is a cool one. No pun intended, but pun kind of intended. Now, we typically have our highest core body temperature for the day somewhere in the late afternoon to early evening. When we have an elevated core body temperature when we sleep, that typically means our body is busy doing something. Something like digesting food, dealing with alcohol, fighting off some sort of pathogen, or still ramped up from some sort of physiological or psychological stressor. And something that makes sleep onset a hell of a lot easier is the lowering of our core body temperature. So this is why it's recommended to temperature control your room. Keep it at around 64 degrees. Take a cool or warm shower before bed to release that heat. And even investing in a cool sleeping mattress or a cooling sleep pad. Now, with all that, let's talk a little sleep stages, REM and non-REM. So each night we have between 4 and 6 90-minute sleep cycles. Sleep cycles meaning we go through all the disparate stages of sleep. Stages 1 through 3 are non-rapid eye movement sleep, non-dreaming. Stage 4 is rapid eye movement sleep, dreaming sleep. And as we go through each sleep cycle, the time allocation given to non-REM and REM shifts, starting with a higher percentage of non-REM in the early part of the night and shifting to a higher percentage of REM in the latter part of the night. And in terms of optimal health, we need both. So good metrics and allocations to aim for are the following. Stage 1 and 2 light sleep should make up somewhere around 50% of your night. Stage 3 deep sleep should make up somewhere between 15 and 25% of your night. And stage 4 REM sleep should make up somewhere between 20 and 30% of your night. Again, these are just general recommendations. This is another exercise where you need to baseline yourself and continuously tweak and test. For example, one of the discoveries that I found when tracking my sleep was my REM sleep was very, very low, about 10% of my night. So what I did was tweak my schedule to wake up a little later and give myself more REM dreaming time, which showed some improvement. So this is the power of having that objective data. You have the data to make intentional change and hopefully improve subjective feel. Next, sleep efficiency, or the percentage of your night that you are actually sleeping. A good number to aim for here is 85% or above, meaning 85% of the time you were in bed, you were sleeping. And guess what kills sleep efficiency? Technology in bed. Get it out of here! We'll talk about that in a little bit. Another good metric is your sleep midpoint, or the hour of the night that the midpoint of your sleep falls on. For the average adult to be in alignment with their natural circadian rhythms, you typically want this midpoint to be somewhere between 12 p.m. and 3 a.m. Now, people do have specific chronotypes that will adjust this number a little bit, but for the general and broader population, this is a pretty good spot to aim for. Lastly, breath. You know we love the power of breath on this channel. Or respiratory rate, aka the amount of breaths we take per minute while sleeping. This right here is an assay for recovery and restfulness throughout the night. The average adult takes somewhere between 12 and 20 breaths per minute at rest. So this is going to be another one where it's unique to you. You have to baseline yourself and then look at relative change night to night off of that baseline. I've personally found that common recreational additives such as alcohol and caffeine can really impact this number. Don't ask me how I know. So stay woke. Pun not intended, but also intended. All right, so we made it through the objective data. Now let's end it with a few tips to help clean up your sleep. Sleep hygiene tips. First off, if you want to see a full day T- countdown of 5 critical points throughout your day where you need to start or stop certain activities to optimize sleep, look no further. Now, here are some things that will help move the sleep needle in the right direction. First, consistent sleep and wake times, even on the weekends. You knew this one was coming. Do I have to put on my sleep police badge? I will. Going to bed between the hours of 8 p.m. and 12 p.m. and waking up between the hours of 5 a.m. and 10 a.m. This right here may be the most impactful thing that you can do to align your sleep-wake cycles and circadian rhythms. Next, get your morning and evening sun. This will dramatically improve circadian rhythm alignment, as we have specific cells in the retina whose main job is to signal the brain when light is in the environment. So the brain can then send the downstream message to the rest of the body that it is either time for daytime or nighttime activities. Next, if you nap, which is totally fine, make sure you get your nap in before 3 p.m.-ish. You don't want to be napping late into the evening. This can definitely interrupt your sleep onset for the upcoming night. Then there's meal timing, which we cover in depth here. Finish your last big meal around 3 hours prior to bedtime. This will ensure that you are not impeding on sleep quality with digestion. On the topic of timing, work out, but not too late. Physical exercise in the morning and early evening has been shown to aid sleep, but it can also cause some problems when done close to bedtime. So try and time that sweat sesh accordingly and finish up a few hours before bed. Then we have caffeine and alcohol. Try to finish your caffeine consumption T-10 hours before bedtime and try to limit alcohol consumption to 1 drink in the evening if you have sleep quality in mind. Finally, we end with building a sleep hygiene routine. So take all of the above and then build it into this comprehensive strategy and hone in on a T-1 hour before bedtime sleep routine. It may look a little like this. First, limit the overhead and technology artificial light in the environment. This can trick your brain into thinking it is daytime and blocking the secretion or delaying the secretion of our sleep hormone melatonin. So put all your blue light filters on your electronic devices, dim the lights or use table lights in your house, use blue light blocking glasses to maximize this effort, and keep the tech out of the bedroom. Laying in bed and scrolling the interwebs is not a habit that aids sleep. I hate to say it, but it's not. And if you are serious about truly improving sleep, I dare you to try out this little strategy. Technology in the bedroom is only allowed when you are standing, not sitting or lying. This will make scrolling the interwebs a lot less enjoyable and a lot more tiring real fast. Go ahead and silence your notifications or put your phone in do not disturb mode. If you want to take it a step further, what I've been doing for years is putting my phone in airplane mode, been sleeping like a baby. And when you do this, all you got to worry about is counting sheep. And there you have it, how to subjectively and objectively prove that you are a modern day sleep Lancelot. As always, let me know what comments, questions, any random thoughts you have down below. Whoa, did you look at the time? Blue light mode activated. Much better. Good show, everyone. Good show. Yeah, I love how you love my references. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.